Welcome back. The National Freedom Party finds itself in a position of a kingmaker in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. The party has a single seat in the legislature, and depending on coalition formations under discussion in KZN, the NFP's lone vote may swing the pendulum in the province. The MK party has the most seats in the KZN legislature, but an ANC, DA and IFP coalition could be on the cards as political parties continue horse trading that's needed to establish a government in the province. Let's discuss this further. We're joined now by NFP leader Irvan Barnes. Irvan, it's great to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed for coming on. 1% in the province and 1 seat in the legislature, and yet you're in an incredibly important and powerful position.
Good afternoon, ma'am, and thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to be on your show.
So
yes, we indeed.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, we indeed feel honored, and we are grateful that our voters managed to put us back in the political landscape in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. And despite everything that we've gone through as an organization, we are still standing strong.
So I imagine coalition talks are underway. We know that the MK party received the majority of the vote in KwaZulu-Natal, the ANC coming in at 17%, the DA at 13%. Who are the parties that you are talking to, if you'll take us into your confidence?
Well, the National Freedom Party met last week, Tuesday, as the National Executive, and we took a decision that we will welcome any political party engagement when it comes to KZN in terms of government of coalition. I want to place it on record that we have had engagements with the IFP, we have had engagements with the ANC, and up until then, those are the 2 organizations who have requested to meet with us to discuss the government of coalition, and we are open to negotiate with anyone as long as we put the people of KZN first and put the poorest of the poor on the priority list.
So you say you've had discussions with the IFP and the ANC. You're also saying, Irvan, that you are open to talking to anyone. When you say that,
yes, ma'am.
Do you also mean that the policies that you're discussing with another party need to line up with your policies? Are there points in those discussions, red lines in those discussions that you're not able to budge from? Are there particular parties that you are perhaps averse to? Where's the red line for the NFP?
Currently, if you put the interest of the poorest of the poor and good governance, you cannot put a red line to any political party. What you can do as an organization is you put on the table your policies and your stance, and you know what you want and you know what you want to do for your people. And if those terms and conditions are not met in any organization, it's best that you withdraw. So we cannot put it on record and say we won't talk to this political party for reasons that are unknown.
Okay, so the NFP is already in a coalition with the ANC in eThekwini, right? That's where your member, Zandile Mieni, is the deputy mayor. When you go into those coalition talks, what kinds of demands will you be making insofar as positions like deputy mayor, for example, are concerned?
Currently in KZN, we're in coalition with the ANC and the IFP in local government. We have engaged to agree on the principle of co-governance. We're still going to have a secondary meeting where we'll be discussing issues of a give and take situation.
And what does that give and take look like for the NFP in an ideal situation?
We want to be part of government where we can express, where we can put forward our manifesto, where the people of KZN can see how we can do service delivery the best way we can. We wouldn't want to be a government of coalition as a backbencher.
You know, when I was asking you the question around ideologies and where the red line might lie for you, in your negotiations with parties, for example, like the Democratic Alliance, this has been an issue that's come up quite a lot in the Government of National Unity and the proposal there. And those who are not in favour of, for example, an ANC-DA coalition, talks about things like black economic empowerment, talks about land redistribution, and so on. Are those kinds of issues red lines, possible red lines for you? I know you talk broadly about parties that serve the people, but are those kinds of policies important for the NFP and possible red lines?
Land and BEE is the priority for all Black South Africans. We cannot compromise that. But when you are in a government of coalition, there are things, there are principles, there are certain positions that any organization is willing to compromise for the sake of their people. And there are certain positions that we cannot sacrifice ourselves to compromise the people of South Africa, and in particular the poorest of the poor. So when we engage with the Democratic Alliance, there are certain issues that we'll put on the table for them to have a discussion with us as the National Freedom Party, and we'll take it from there. As I said before, we haven't spoken to the Democratic Alliance, so I don't want to cast aspersions and, you know, put the carrot before the donkey.
You know, 1%, one seat in the legislature, it might seem like a small result, but in an election like the one we've just had, with the results as they are, 1% can be make or break. Are you being wooed as the NFP on all fronts?
No, we are not being wooed from all fronts. And we are not going to use this 1% of the people of KZN to try and selfishly, or if that's a correct word, do something that's going to be contrary to our people. We'll use this table of negotiation the best possible way that it can serve the people of our country and the people of our province.
You're obviously a breakaway party from the IFP. Is it safe to assume that ideologically you are most aligned with the IFP and that you will go with wherever the IFP puts its lot?
We are a political party in our own right. Some of our members, when we were established in 2011, didn't come from the IFP. It's just that the majority of them came from IFP, including myself. But we have our own political identity. We will talk with all parties in the same fashion, in the same manner, is to put the interests of the people, not in terms of ideologies or similarity, or we breakaway kind of talk. No, we cannot do that.
Irvan Barnes, let me thank you for your time.
We put our manifesto first and our principles and how we want to govern KZN. That will be put on the table.
I think your point is well made. The leader of the National Freedom Party, thanks very much indeed for joining us.